I don't know where we're coming out soon, man. Look at that way, we're dropping on the content. Yeah, trying to YouTube content on there. And then from there, gang you that as well.
All I want to do is
Yo, Rambo!
you can't just download the track.
Not yet, you will be. I don't feel a track. I don't feel a track.
Good! Content over everything! Good!
So wait.
G-Circle!
G-Circle!
G-Circle! Good! Good unite!
No stitching zone.
Alright everyone. Good!
I don't fight, I just defend myself.
Right, this is the G corner. And we're going to set off. Respect, fire beat, give my brother, could you come forward, comrade? Power.
I even know the narrative, no man.
Alright, basic. Michael. Right. This is our gang corner for today. And I just want to put it out there like gang, we out here for the youth, guiding the new generation from the black and brown community, regardless of your religious background or your faith. We're about guiding our children, setting up programs, coming together as gang, try to have a peace treaty amongst our community of different gangs, come together. We have our real ops, yeah? We have to deal with certain things that's against us. There's certain programs, like different, and you see a lot of ops out here today. You see a lot of agents, yeah, informers, snitches, they're all here try to get information from the gang. Gang now, we're coming like our elders, we're coming like those Panthers, we're coming like revolutionaries. We're making change in our communities, in our streets. You do see us in different parts of your community doing groundwork.
Making a change.
We are riding for our youths. We are riding for our youths, and I'm stressing that, you know. Respect, Fire Bingy, Jedi, Mapu, Beefy, Captain Rambo, many other gang generals are out here trying to make a treaty amongst our youth. We are not our youth's enemies. We realise that the so-called white supremacy manufactured white supremacy is aiming their tactics on us. No matter we call ourselves gang, it proves. We use our word gang, we're still getting negative narratives on us. So no matter what labels or forms we try to attach ourselves to reach our children, regardless if we're drillers and artists, we still got a negative negative narration against us. We are not majorities. Let me tell you this. We black people, we ain't no majority. They try to make us majorities in their media. This is CEO, and you know content over everything, don't edit nothing. So everything what we say as elders, our heel gang, we got Rat Raven here now. So what Shakara, we all do works in our community, in our black community, you know? And what we try to push out to the youth, we must come together and fight these rule gangs called the police. Yeah? So this is Captain Rambo, and I would like to say black power, all power to the people, touch one, touch all, gang unite, hand over to Beefy or another elder.
Well, Mackie, you're on the last thing, so I'll let you talk.
I don't even know. What do we want to talk about? What are we talking?
We're talking about gang, but we're elders.
Okay.
Push it out.
Okay. Well, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, you see what gang is about. You get me? Yeah, we out in our community doing certain stuff, but also we're here in the park. You get what I'm saying? Practicing or exercising the same rights. You get what I'm saying? Everybody has free speech, but the problem is freedom of expression of another person. You get what I'm saying? Other people can get triggered by keywords and all of this type of stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? We are not those people. Do you get what I'm saying? We are far smarter. We are high IQ. You get me? There's been a lot of low IQ talk. Do you get what I'm saying? And a lot of low IQ behavior. Do you get what I'm saying? And people apologizing, for blatantly racist statements. Do you get what I'm saying? Disrespect to a man's religion and all of these type of things. Do you get what I'm saying? We are not entertaining that. Do you get what I'm saying? Because the bigger picture for us is the mission. You get me? We don't get trouble from no Muslims, no Jew, no Christian, no thing. Because everybody appreciates what we're doing outside of the park. Do you get what I'm saying? This is only just discussion. Do you get what I'm saying? We intellectually masturbate and da-da-da-da, you get what I'm saying? Yeah? But it's not important. You get what I'm saying? It's not important as the lives of our children. You get what I'm saying?
But one thing I'd like to add about this freedom of speech thing, I keep saying this. Everyone's got the freedom to say what they want to say, but you're not free from the consequences of what you say. That's the reality of life. So if you're free to offend someone, people are free to get offended. So we don't keep saying to people, yeah, you're free to offend, but no one is free to react. That's bullshit. And I'll never raise my kid to say, be offended and just walk away and be happy with it. That can never run. That can never run. I'm telling you, all my youngers, if anyone offends you, make a stand for it. Don't just walk away and say it's alright to be offended. It's not alright to be offended by anybody. So all people want to talk about, oh, the freedom of speech is the right to offend people. No, it's not right to offend people. You offend me, I will right to get offended. Simple.
Oh, my brother, man.
Yeah, what's up, family? It's good to see everyone come down there, right? It's nice. What we want to push, right, is having a purpose, yeah? So we always want to be progressional with the things we're doing. And one thing I'm noticing now is there's a lot of sisters with big ideas and very constructive solutions they want to bring forward, but we're not necessarily giving them the platform. So one thing I would like us to do as men is try to assist the women in hearing their voice. Yeah. Ultimately, women are going to take lead themselves. One thing I think is quite constructive is hearing the sisters' voice and to invite the sisters to come down so we can hear their stuff. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Most definitely.
I think that's and I'm seeing that today, so that's a good thing. So that's what I want to push out there. Quite simple, straightforward, really.
Yeah, man, that's what I support that still. Yeah.
And we've got G Queens as well. There's G Queens. Those are the gangs, all about the men, you know. There's also got G Queens where women come together and talk about the women's issues and how the women play a big part in our community. They're the hub of the community. So we need to empower women and make sure that the woman raises the child, not the man. So if a woman is empowered to raise a child, then everything's all right. But we don't empower the woman to raise the child properly, then we're going nowhere.
I don't know about it's not the man thing though. The woman raise the child and the man.
And the man, I'm saying, when the man is hustling, who's there nurturing?
Providing for the child is still part of the
I know, but I'm saying,
the hustle is still part of the raising, you know?
But the nurturing is very important.
The father supporting. He's supporting the
And one thing I want to push forward as well is like solution-based conversations, right? And how to conduct ourselves, right? Now there's different people at different levels when they come down. The one time family, right? To be honest, the microphone picks us anyway, to be honest. That's how I learn, innit? It's no matter what they say. Yeah? So what I'm saying is, we want to be able to talk and have like a discourse and try to have a start, middle, end, and obviously definitely not trying to get aggressive, right? That's one of the challenges we face collectively. Hopefully we can try to find a way of doing that. That's why I push forward. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Can I say something on that point though?
Go ahead.
Because I'm not a vet to speak as for like some certain money here, but the 2 times I've been here, and this is the second time I've been here, innit? And obviously there was a big issue last week, innit? And I've seen certain dynamics today, yeah? And what I've realised for black people, we've got to be careful around here, because I've seen that whenever there's beef kicking off, yeah, somebody, often not black people, come and find somebody black here to say, yo, man, you see what's going on over there though? And we got to be careful, you know. I've seen it more than once, yeah? I've seen it more than once, yeah? Whereby a man comes and says, you know what's going on over there, yeah? Like, we got to have an upper guy in it. Why are you coming to the black brothers, them, to come and, you know what I'm saying? We have to look at these things, fam, yeah? And not get involved in them certain times. We have to know what to get involved in and what not to get involved in, because that's certain time what my perception is, and I could be wrong in it. Like, I'm not gonna correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's like certain times it's like we're getting drawn into next man's beef. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And we gotta stop it, my G. Because when a man can come and say, "Oi, we gotta talk about something over there," and man don't even know where I'm going, but man's walking with a guy. Yeah, but why is it they always seem to come to black people when it comes to beef?
You know why?
Yeah? We have to ask these questions.
Do you know why? when you, very good question, very good answer. Hear what? They come to us because they know that we will go and protect them and sort out their beef. And what we need to do, well, gang, what we try to do more is try to deal with our people on that level. Because what we go try to do is not be sucked in to their arguments and their problems.
Because sometimes, yeah, the aggression not even start with us, you know.
It's never.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm saying, this is an example, yeah, and I said to you man already today, yeah. But last week, yeah, X amount of man followed this guy out the park, yeah, right? And the story was, gang chased the guy out the park, innit? What I'm saying is, like, and I don't want to take it somewhere else, innit? I'm just backing up what Raven just said, innit? In terms of addressing things in a certain way and not getting aggressive with it. We just have to be mindful of what we allow to dominate the attention, the conversation, and our movement.
Suggest something here?
Yeah.
Right, please everyone. Gang, do not turf anyone out.
No, we know that, yeah.
Police
we know that, yeah.
Escorted him.
Yeah.
Gang, Chewy came to us.
Yeah.
We made sure
we know that.
the police followed up on their thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Facts.
So what is what you're saying? We as a gang, especially the black Mennonite African from the diaspora, we need to stop running into their arguments and try to sort out their thing, because we are being open, yeah, for their attacks. We need to be tightened up more.
I agree.
That's what my brother's saying. The saying's coming up.
To add to that, I think collective discipline is quite valuable, right?
Yes.
And I'm saying, like, a lot of us are guilty beforehand, right? As in, people have this preconceived concept of us doing horrible things.
Yes.
So when we are conducting ourselves in the park, don't get drawn out. And if one brother is speaking and leading, people in the background, you don't need to throw ad hominems over the top. Let's have a collective discipline and let one man.
I agree with that. And to be fair, we saw that today.
We saw it today. I had to give 10 points to my brother the way he conducted himself. So that was good. That was good still.
And shall I tell you what? And another thing, because a lot of Mennonite people has not had a strong voice up here as regular and consistent, we are also trying to educate, no, not educate, I don't like that word, inspire our people through the literature of our elders who paved the way or laid the foundations, coming from brothers like Booker T. Washington, Marcus Garvey the Great, Red, Black and Green, and all the other great master teachers. We are trying in our generation to make that light to our children. So what we are trying to do, many of our brothers here, is try to deal with certain topics directly. What we have to do is try to get out the infiltrators, the bad tyrants, because some people up here claim they talk for black people, and boy, they lead our people down in some wonderland rat hole, some not really a rabbit hole, but more into a rat trap. See? And what we try to do as brothers here and sisters is come together to really liberate our people through knowledge, right knowledge, you know, because there's a lot of misinterpreted religious dogma in our culture. And last time we had a discussion, it was based on labels and stuff. We couldn't really comb our nitty-gritty to our roots and culture because it was about labels. And because this is G Corner now, and this is the elders, salute blokes, yeah, and all of the veterans are here. We all go out in our community. All of us deal with things differently. Some of us here deal with things on the format level, like my brother Zachariah here. Brother, he's a veteran. He's very good on the format. Some people are here very good on the debates. Some people's here very good on the groundwork. So what we are trying to do is clarify our skills and try to bring it out with a more clear direct. This point of this G Corner here is really to deal with things on the level, quote, our people. Regardless if it's Pan-African, I like to say RGB. So my brothers, let's keep it on that level. Welcome out our general who's in our community, who actually does the work. Zachariah, listen fam, I love you bruv, and I want you to take up this G Corner and really educate
Give them
the people
that
now
work.
and give them the teachers what you really come here to give. And because gang was dealing with different topics, you might felt we never give you that respect.
It's all good family.
Come.
It's all love.
How are you talking? It's family. It's
Nah, my family.
That's
but-
what I'm saying. Man don't take nothing personal, you know. Like, I never went. Like after we debated the thing and that, like everyone shook everyone's hand, everything blessing it. Just what I'm saying. Like, and I watched the video again. I watched the. I was saying to Raven a minute ago, yeah. Well, I had to just leave it alone because I watched the video like when I weren't here. And man talking about the conversation. I didn't even recognise the conversation.
Yeah, it's different.
Man, I have to leave it alone, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, innit? You know what I'm saying? But
you know
so,
what it is?
man don't take nothing personal, bro.
your name?
As well, like. Sorry, come again?
One thing, your name?
Shakara.
Veteran, welcome, man. Welcome.
My first name Tafazwa, yeah.
Yeah. Zimbabwe, I know the name very well.
Yes. I recognise the accent still. Yeah, but yeah, that's all it is. You get me? And it's like, fam, like I got three brothers in it. There's 4 of us here. So like, I'm not no stranger to them kind of reasoning, bro. You get me? Like, we cuss each other all the time, innit? And I'm the one that cusses the least, and I'm the oldest, yeah? And I get the most cussing. So it's nothing, yeah? It's not even that beef, you know what I'm saying? So, no, and I respect that still, you know what I'm saying? But you about to say something a minute ago. I don't want to cut, because you about to say something.
No, I was going to say, we were talking about like finding out who's down for this and down for that. I would say literally, when you're in your grassroots and stuff, everything should be like purpose-led. With purpose comes effort, right? So while having particular tasks, you know who's really down, because if someone's like trolling or whatever, they're not going to do the basic entry-level tasks. You know what I'm saying? So that's why establishing skills and trying to get something going. I'm very clear on me, I'm digitally led. I think a lot of our solutions can come from the digital world, and us creating platforms where we can find each other via digitally, right? And funny enough, this is the proof in it. So we speak on, say, one platform here, people see, they come down, you know what I mean? But it has to escalate from there, do you know what I mean? We have to control.
And there's multiple platforms.
Of course.
And then there are platforms that are even not here, because I represent Got Kush TV. Got Kush TV is not here.
Black Ice TV.
You know what I'm saying? Black Ice TV's here, but
Scatter
they're not
Minds.
filming.
Scatter Minds, go and subscribe to that.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So
But what we're doing, we're creating like the kind of like the data, the hub. So if we know people come down there, then you know you can bring a team down, Black Ice bring a team there, because they know there's something to record. But if we're not doing that, there's nothing to record,
That's what I'm saying. You know, I got a channel. I never promote my own channel, innit? Because it's not even about that, yeah?
I'll subscribe.
Black families.
Yeah, but we were talking.
I'll subscribe, man. I'll subscribe.
Because we were talking.
I think I'm subscribed already.
Maybe, but my point is that it's a different conversation that we need to have in it, because, like, obviously, this can't come to me today, yeah? Because obviously I'm a new father, and I've been doing reflections on the father thing. But I'm saying that for me, and one of the reasons why I started doing it, the reason why that whole thing came about, because I was just sharing reflections on Facebook, and people are saying to me, you need to do something with it, put it in a book and that kind of things there. Why? Because they're not yet used to hearing black fathers
100%.
speak about their experience and the importance of it and them kind of things
But they're not used to it here either.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, real talk, innit? That's what I'm saying. So it's like there are so many conversations that, and as well, we have to be mindful of these things as well, you know. There are so many conversations that our community does not see us as men having. Yeah? So and a part of the reason, why a lot of our sisters have got beef with us, it's not just because of their experiences. It's because of the popular portrayals of us out there, innit? So whenever you see a brother, like we've seen recently with certain major artists, whose name I'm not going to call right about now, but when we're seen to be down in our sisters or not uplifting them and them kind of things there, or not taking our responsibilities in terms of family, in terms of community, you know what I'm saying? And it's partly because they don't even see us having the conversation, my G. When they see us having the conversation about family, we're talking about what the sisters ain't doing. And, you know what I mean? Well, you know what I'm saying? Them kind of thing there. And you know what I mean? I'm saying, nah, why can't we talk about what we are doing? The man them that are being fathers out here, share your experiences, innit? Profile the thing, or like, let's have conversations together, innit? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? As brothers who are about this thing, innit?
Promote your thing quickly. Your YouTube channel.
Shakara speaks, innit? Let's check it out. Shakara.
No, Shaka. I'm not gonna let you get away with it this time. No, come on, Alright, and furthermore, to those who don't know, within our community, what doesn't get publicly highlighted in our black community, Shakara puts in hours, days and night into his people. And I'm talking about African people from the diaspora all around, you know, and I want him to really, you know,
Love King, I appreciate that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just Shakara Speaks, isn't it? So my name, Shakara Speaks. And that's that, you know what I mean? You know? But so yeah, it's just that conversation. And I'm mentioning that just to feed into the conversation about the sisters them speaking. And I thought maybe we should try and get some of them on here right now, innit? Like, right. So this sister who's back here, yeah, is obviously like when you hear that voice in the background of Captain Scarlett's videos.
Yeah, my videos there.
You get me? Yeah, it's like it's this sister over here. Well, she don't want to come on the camera, innit?
She won't come in the front of the camera. Eventually we'll get her one day.
Yeah, we have to, but it's that kind of thing, innit? And we should encourage our sisters then, to come forward, innit?
Especially up here in the park.
Yeah,
this is Speakers Corner, freedom of speech. We need to have our sisters to come up here
and I know a lot of the
really
sisters
speak
see a lot
and
of
get out
debates.
the information out.
Yeah, like, go on.
And I know a lot of the sisters see a lot of the debates and they think that's the environment, but actually, as more women come down and start talking, the tone will change. And a lot of this aggression and a lot of this hyper masculinity, people will have to circle it a little bit.
It will balance out.
It will balance out.
But
So
there's also what you don't see. Like there is constructive dialogue going on, and as well as women talking. But the cameras on there say picking it up.
Them up,
So that's why I'm trying to get the sisters to come on camera, but some really don't want to. So you know.
But I like the invitation though, and the idea that we welcome that energy, and we like promise, You know what I'm saying? That we know, that we know how to conduct ourselves, in order to accommodate our sisters them.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? We welcome that energy, do you know what I'm saying? So I love that, you get me? So I hope some of the sisters them feel inspired to reach.
for sure. We have to talk about a lot of these wider topics and a lot of these wider issues, like you said. You don't see us having this conversation about what it's like being a black father. What it's like, we talk about, for example, gang in the G circle, and like a lot of youths went up in knife crime and gun crime. But we need to talk about how they end up there in the first place and what happened in the breakdown in the family. How fatherlessness affected each of us as individuals. Maybe sometimes you just need to talk about that. Do you know what I mean? And how we're doing things differently with our youths and stuff like that. So you have to have wider conversations.
And obviously the issue is that controversy is often it's often more appealing to people, right? So I mean, and I think we can probably see an example of that right at this very moment in time, right? That's what I'm saying, right? Because, you know what I mean? That's the reality, and I'm not even saying that because sometimes like controversy is sometimes very necessary, You know what I'm saying? Like in terms of that's part of how we progress, You've got an idea, I got an idea, we battle it out, innit? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not one of the people, that when I see an argument, like it's like the conversation that I was in that we're talking about, There are a lot of people that I've seen that have gotten something from the conversation. Even though I might look at it and think, boy, you know what? It was pointless. Or boy, you know what? Maybe I should have said that. Or you know what I'm saying? But people are watching it and they're saying, you know what I mean? You know what? I got something from that. You know, I give thanks, for you standing your ground on this particular issue. Or you know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes we need those controversial issues that will get loads of hits. So a lot of black youths who might never ever watch Speakers Corner videos ever might just see a clip of that video and think, yo, I'm going down there.
Let me check out
I got something to say about that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to talk about them topics that do touch people and pull people's heartstrings. But I think there is a thing in what Raven says about having an aim, what are we talking about, and where we get into at the end of it. Because a lot of times we can actually probably guide people through all the different sides of this argument and still come to a conclusion in a way that's constructive, rather than trying to do it in a way where I'm trying to force my voice.
The family, I have to kick,
so do I.
Wife is making dinner. But what is
it's time.
But I want you to get the knowledge out there, so Uncle, Bob.
Yes.
Take it easy, we'll catch up.
Give them
I've got to watch it myself, forget me.
I wanted an early night tonight because I'm usually out here every late, but usually next
Right, it's actually earlier than I thought it was though. It's only 8:30.
Okay, I got a little bit of time to spend.
Yeah, look a bit of time,
Got a little bit of time to spend.
That's early for me, you know.
So something I want to
Tonight
clarify.
is young.
Something I want to clarify. I want to talk to Maku as well, but what I want to clarify is Pan-Africanism. So a lot of people think Pan-Africanism is this one specific thing, innit?
Let's deal with it.
Now I don't want to do labels or words.
No,
I just want to deal with the definition of Pan-Africanism.
Yeah,
Pan-Africanism isn't one specific political ideology.
Yeah.
Pan-Africanism represents the breadth and the width of all of African thought, philosophy and ideologies over the past 100 or so, 400 years, right? The reason it has formed in this way is because it's formed in the face of white supremacy and Eurocentrism. It's formed as a reaction. However, Pan-Africanism as a concept existed long before any sort of people came in. This is just about loving yourself, knowing your own culture and knowing your own ideology and seeing your brothers like concept like Ubuntu, understanding that if one of us are diminished, all of us are diminished. That's a unique thing that is in almost every African culture. You can see in almost every African culture. It might not be those specific words, but that idea and ideology you can find in almost every African culture. And so Pan-Africanism comes down to that universalism of those African cultures. And that's what Pan-Africanism is. So you can be a Pan-Africanist and be a Garveyite, or you can be a Pan-Africanist and you could be, I don't know, like more on the W.E.B. Du Bois. Yeah, you can be more on that side.
They're different shades.
There's all different shades of Pan-Africanism, do you know what I mean? So
yeah, well, you could even take that and build a revolutionary.
And be you can be a super revolutionary Pan-Africanist, like the Black Panthers were, do you know what I mean? Revolutionary Pan-Africanists who took, at the time, Marxism. I know right now you were saying we're burning the Marxism and stuff. But a lot of them took the Marxism at that point and they said, we're going to add that to our Pan-Africanism and use this to fight against the oppression. It's actually a large body of thought in it. So but when it comes down to it, it's the concept that's important, not the word or whatever.
No. Right. First of all, Black Power. Now I'm talking for myself as Captain Rambo. As of the Black Panthers also. Now, when we're dealing with Pan-Africanism, it affected different, as you said, different parts or different raids of our community, of our liberation and our struggles. Now, what was said before, and now we can clarify it because we are from different parts of the community pushing out Pan-Africanism. Now, my ideology of it, we use Pan-African as you said, many aspects what moulded us. We needed spirituality in our Pan-African. So we went back to our ancestors' teachings of the Yoruba, Ifa, and many other ancient schools to make our spirits firm. We also went through many ideologies of different theologies to keep our minds firm in our struggles. So I'm with all that. I fully support the RGB, red, black and green. I fully support that myself. I feel as blacks in this country, I know America spearheaded a very good Pan-African liberation. They spearheaded it for many years now. We over here have been spearheading it for the past 70 years because the first Black Power movement really started in the late 50s, early 60s amongst our grandparents or elders who laid the foundation. Now we are the new generation in our time continuing the works and try to keep what it is. Many people or the narratives doesn't realise. We don't try to use every word in a book, letter to letter, of what Marcus Garvey or our ancestors used, but use a part of that within our life to shape our consciousness and our children's consciousness, regardless if it's spiritual or physical. So, regardless if it's political as well. But I'm more of a revolutionist. Some of the ideologies of what people have is very theology. It's very good. But come on, black people, we live in 70 years later.
But let me
pull up.
You know what it is, One of the things that I didn't say in a conversation that we had a couple of weeks ago, was very important in terms of the intentionality, because we were discussing this thing about who we are and our beings, and the statement was made. It's a popular statement that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, which is a statement that I agree with, But then we look at the ideology and what it represents, and the idea of that as spiritual beings in this physical reality, there are certain natural forces. That we seek to harmonise it, right? Just what I'm saying. And the most fundamental of them is land, right? So when you look at the terminology of Pan-Africanism or Pan-African and what it means and the importance of the landmass of the continent, it wasn't just a romantic thing, where my man says, you know what, I come from there. What's it called? Africa is Zion, for example. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's not. It's understanding that all people that seek to liberate themselves and free themselves and seek independence do so from the perspective of land. Having land that they're able to cultivate and develop a civilization.
That's a part of our
I think
liberation.
we should also be critical that within Pan-Africanism, some of us did fall into that trap of Africa and Zion and everything was going to be alright. And we wasn't enough. But I'm not saying that throws away the whole movement.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, I don't
No,
necessarily...
but that was a part of the religious side.
Yeah, no, but I don't necessarily... But the thing is, I don't necessarily see it as wrong. Yeah? In the sense of... Or like, if we say Africa is sacred, and we put a spiritual significance on that, that's fine.
That's fine. No,
that's beautiful.
Fine. That's fine.
All people that are serious about their thing, they have land that they have a sacred connection towards.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, right. But I'm agreeing with you in the sense of when we make it just a matter of religiosity and separate the spiritual from the political, it just becomes that a romanticization.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's understanding the importance of the identification was about.
Definitely.
Connecting us with a land mass, a land from which to cultivate and build a civilization. That's very important. Yeah, Malcolm X taught us these things. Yeah, all people, all independence, all revolutions are fought on the basis of land.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
And here's the problem. Not the problem. Here's with it. When we have our land, we would allow to have our constitutional laws, our given rights of the land to practice our spirituality. That's why most of our leaders always try to tell you, we will never get our true liberation on the soil of your enemies. And that's true as an African. The only way we got our liberation is through Africa, because Africa was our school of where every other culture went to get their knowledge and get their foundations for. So when we say land, we need to reclaim our land, because we see today, we don't have no land where we could claim our own, because we got the rulers of today has put in rules and regulations on certain of our land. So in certain aspect here, I would have to also say, to get some of our land through our liberations, not go just be mental. We will have to take up arms and fight and defend.
Of course.
Because what the problem is this, we have a lot of Pan-African brothers and sisters who like to talk a part of the peaceful part of it. We know that, come on, at some point, our revolutions will go back, as I always said, through blood. We have to fight. And this is where we go leave the mental side to things and more into the physical, because right about now there's a land grabbing business going on, and we have to claim our land so we could further on our legacy.
All right, but let me show you where it links now though, yeah? Go.
So, I was going to say, this is how where Pan-Africanism needs to really form itself into a proper body. Because my thing is, everything you're saying is proving my point of Pan-Africanism being a spectrum, from a revolutionary to some of them Pan-Africans who just want peace.
And you know the
and
funny
we need
thing?
to be able to be in a point of saying, you know what, we're going to vote for a peaceful leader in this generation, but next generation we're going to vote for a more aggressive leader or a revolutionary leader.
I hear that.
Because there's different leaders for different times, and we need to know that
But
we
my
can
brother-
play between or go between them. But I agree
sorry,
with you.
Captain.
Revolution is necessary,
Sorry, Captain, just to add on to you, this is the trick here. Because of the media and that, they never push out what we talking about. It's happening.
They're always going to tell us.
Listen, man, you got
Julius Malema in South
listen,
Africa.
fam. Listen, Malcolm X said that the enemy's propaganda will never show you our people, our greatness. So we stop looking to the enemy's media for that.
100%.
Because what is really going on is that many parts of Africa, like the EFF, who's the economical freedom fighters, right now they're doing a very good thing on both levels of political strategy, and they're also telling people, listen man, we have to get out of that thing now, we have to start claiming for our land now, we have to start using our rulers and our measurements and say this is for us now. We're not trying to say everybody can't have a piece of land, but in actual fact, everybody who does not really belong on that land should come out, and that's a fact with me. I believe Africa belongs to Africans until no one has proved to me over 100 years that statement is wrong. Because I believe living in Europe and living in London, this ain't my country, so I won't claim London or England as my country. But as the Black Panthers say in our 10-step our 10-step program, that we are entitled, while we are here as prisoners of this land and captives of this land, we're entitled for our national health, and we're entitled for a home, and we're entitled for accommodation, health, and everything else. That's what we're entitled for. But I don't want my repatriation from this British government. I want to be real.
Yeah, self-determination.
I believe this, yeah, what our people's gone with is this repatriation thing was very good, but in the sense of when we say repatriation, when we say Babylon owes us, let me tell you about Babylon. They owe us a lot of money where they could never, ever repay. But what I don't want to do, I want us as our people to put 10p to pence to pound to thousands or hundreds, build and have our own land. I want the people, I love certain communities who's already gone out there to have our land. So what I don't like is people coming on here to try to think that our people have never made that step. Our people's making that step. Some of the people are here is actually making that step. You know what I mean? But I won't watch BBC or any of that and say, let me wait for the revolution to come.
But this is the thing, though, because this is one of the things that I see here. Indeed, right? Because this propaganda is very serious here. In fact, all war, they're saying that they're saying that 90%, well, some people say 60, some people say 90% of war is propaganda. But the reality is, so there's never a point at which like the material and the immaterial are not linked to each other, innit? You know what I'm saying? And you gave the example of EFF and them kind of things there. And it's like, it's a thing where in order for our people, to really see, be in a position to really enact and act upon what we need to be able to reclaim our land, we have to have the mindset for it. And the reality is that many of us don't even have a connection, to see that this is our land, innit? And we have a connection to it. And so a serious part of the fight, which has always been the case, but like we're saying, sometimes we're in war, innit? So you're gonna have victories and setbacks. And one of the things that we constantly had a setback with is that issue. So there was a time when more of us were seeing that connection. Now we're probably in a time where less of us are seeing that connection in a certain kind of way, Why is that? So let me jump in.
We had this conversation earlier.
Yeah, we did.
And back in the day when, in 1945, when the last Pan-African conference, you had Africans, Caribbean people from all across. You know what I mean? You had Somalians, you had Nigerians, Ghanaians, Jamaicans. They all came together and were on Pan-Africanism. And the thing is that what I really want to point out to people, because a lot of people think Pan-Africanism is just, and I said this on the last video, Unscattered Mind, so check out my channel as well. But on the last video, I was saying like, that people see it and they just see Caribbean people talking about it and they think that's what Pan-Africanism is. But if you go back to 1945, Siabari, the president of Siabari, the president of Somalia, he was there as a Pan-Africanist. He was there with his Pan-African brothers and they all worked together.
Kwame Nkrumah was there.
So it's not just a Caribbean
what's his
thing.
name?
It's
Jomo Kenyatta was there. 100%. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the in 1945 in Manchester in the UK, a lot of the leaders that went on to head states, on the continent were at that conference, that Pan-African Congress in 1945. That's
and you know what? To add on to that further, many of our Pan-African brothers and sisters even further on into the 50s and into the 60s. The problem, as I always say again, the reason why people always hear the Caribbean always talk about it is because that is how the narrative or the popularities was narrative to. There was a lot of people like even Fela Kuti.
I mentioned him a couple weeks ago. You know what's funny though? Say, you know what's funny, Because when we was having a conversation and I was saying, listen, like Amanda was telling me that basically Africans on the continent don't identify as this thing, they can't relate to this thing, innit, right? And it's funny, I was dead in with laughing because you saw me post a video from Julius Malema talking about how we need a one Africa with one currency. I like that though. Right? And one whatever. Right? It's funny.
No, shout to what, fam? Because that was not my conversation, I'm going to be honest with you. See any of my brothers come here and have a conversation and it was on a particular level of not labelling or associating yourself with that. We on my subject now. No. This is another dynamic of this park here. Because sometimes in the park here, when somebody opens the door to Pan-African, not everybody that's fully
appreciate.
Really fully
but that's why we're having a conversation. It's not even about a man.
The label thing.
Yeah, no, it's not even about a man accepting the thing, you know. But I think understanding is often more important than opinion. Yeah. And so as long as we can share for people to understand what you know.
I want to anyway. But the thing is, me, with that conversation, my thing is, I go on the meaning, innit?
Yeah.
And what Jed was saying is, he don't go by the title or the label. But whenever it comes down to, you know, black people and African people, red gold and green shirt. When it comes to,
this is very
sorry, red, black and green.
Go.
When it comes down to black people getting together, he's all for it. So for me, I take that point and I take that principle.
No,
you know what I mean?
Blatantly.
Because I could go on and try and say you have to be a Pan-Africanist, but
but
you're not a Pan-Africanist, come. You want to help back, come. We can work together on that.
But you know, it's man won't try to convert a guy, innit? It's more about even if a man is not going to agree with my thing, but it's about sharing a proper understanding of the history of the thing, because it's like we are the only people here that it's like the legacies that we have in terms of the people that have fought for us. We treat them like they're not relevant to today. So it's not, you don't have to agree with my perception of what it is, or even but as long as you understand what it is, then you know what you're disagreeing with, or you're not, or what you're agreeing with, if that makes sense.
That's where,
but sorry, one second, So the point of me bringing up the EFF thing, is not necessarily to go back on the previous debate. All I'm saying is, we have to understand that there are examples,
100%.
that we maybe not are fully aware of.
Come on, be proud, bruv.
I don't want to.
No, we only talk, man. I'm a flag, but wave this flag.
No, wave the flag. Just don't over your head.
Always. But it's more just the point that we just don't. A lot of us are just not aware of the movements that are happening back home.
It's true.
And when I say back home, I mean Africa and the Caribbean. We don't know what going on. So we all think that it's just a man them over here that are on this thing that are trying to reinforce certain things. Nah, like, you know what I'm saying? There are serious things going on in the world. From getting out there.
If you search, you can find it.
You can find it.
They prevent it from being made.
And that's why even if you go into Africa, you see today at this precise moment, you have the kings and the queens that are trying to come together and trying to negotiate with the African diaspora itself. And even when you even look at even the Pan-African, because I was going to say earlier, is that you can actually analyze it by just even going further back, that you realize it's not even more of a movement, it's a struggle. Because that struggle comes from even when you had the people like called Prince Hall. That Prince Hall, and he actually did go back to Africa with his people, and a lot of people did die on that journey. Do you understand? In Sierra Leone. So when you understand that is a struggle movement, it's not that so-called we're trying to make a country. We're just trying to find our way back to identifying ourselves again.
Comrades,
could you please explain what the
I
flag means?
will do that. Let me just say this as well. As I'm explaining that. Remember, Marcus Garvey also went through that struggle as well. Because when he was saying, boy, many of you lot might not even be suitable to even go back to Africa with the mentalities you have. It's again within here in Europe. Many of our brothers and sisters, minds ain't on Africa, bruv. There were a lot of Rastas who went through that in the 70s. Their minds were all about red, black and green. But boy, to leave your council kind of gas house to go back to Africa and have a shit on something. It was a bit odd.
Some of them did it the wrong way, because some went and they didn't necessarily have the skills.
And that's another thing.
And that's why you
mistakes.
go.
So now,
one voice.
And when you see that.
But the thing is, the reality is,
that's why we have to learn these mistakes.
And that's what I'm saying. Mistakes will be made, fam. There's no liberation movement from any people on the planet Earth when they haven't made mistakes, man.
And that's why you look into forms of Senegal and you see the format of the Creole and the war that happened between the two of them for the Americans that came there and in Liberia and in all this kind of stuff. So you understand that there's always going to be that forms of differences. So we're not saying that everyone should go to Africa, but it's to work, the African diaspora working with the African people so that it makes us able to move around.
But what else I should say to this? I'll just go say this, answer your question, right, and go back to you lot. First, as you know, that was some of the people or our people, the elders, and even some of the youngers today really took certain of the teachers literally. It was an ideology, but some of us took it literally, like we have to pack up now and go now. But what the message was really saying, that this is your land.
Yeah,
this is where your forefathers, this is where your foundations was being laid. This is where you should go back to and claim. You know, for those who want to go back and have that connection. Now, this would also follow your answer to that question. Now, this is the red, black and green. It was representative of the RGB. Let me just turn it around, man, make it look a bit easier. Now, see this, I
might flag this, you know?
Right, see this flag here? This was presented to us, to our pioneer, Marcus Garvey, as a nationality, because for us to claim as a people, we have to have a nationality. Yeah? If you go claim yourself African, you need a nationality. Same thing with Britain. England has a nationality, they have their flag. So Marcus Garvey said, look, this represents you.
Yeah, because at that time, even when they created a tune, and then they said that
everybody got a flag but the coup.
So we had to give our own self and an identification.
Just to
what the colours mean? What the colours mean?
Just to further liberate on that, when you see that every other culture or race of people or nationality of different people, they all got their own flag, they all got their own land, but when you look at the Africans, Negroes, black man, we don't have our own flag, we don't have our own nationality. These were our pioneers were going. So red represents us as the people, and also the black, because we also fight the struggle and our liberation through bloodshed and everything. This is the blood of the people. Black represents all of us, whether you're from Africa, Europe, Asia, America, the Caribbean, because it's one. We're all one people. Green represents our land because that's our liberation. Without land, you can't claim for liberation. And as a Black Panthers over the past 60 years, we also try to explain to our... No, not over people's faces. What I like to do is when we try to explain to our African people that land, green, is very important. We need our own land so we can exercise our rights, so we can liberate ourselves on our own soil. So this is the RGB. Now, because of this content of the younger generation on this gang level, it also went to revolutionary, but gangster. Don't take the gangster. You can't take the hood out of the. You can't take the gangster out of the youth, but you can revolutionise them. Because Jules Jackson, Butchie Carter, and many of our pioneers in our movement came with that gangster but revolutionary. So that was also our duty, you know, because our youth, for us to have a revolution, we must come out of this old, backward thoughts and mentality of our oppression, and we have to revolutionise ourselves through blood. It takes pain to some of us to stop smoking. It's true. It's a lot of pain to stop what our enemies have put onto us, like self-hate. A lot of black brothers suffer for that as self-hate, so we have to liberate ourselves from that. Sorry,
that's come. Go cut. Because you were saying about the kings and queens in Africa are getting together. This is why I say, this is the only reason why I say here in the UK, we need to do what Marcus Garvey said, organise and centralise. Because if they're getting together and they want to reach out to us, what are they going to reach out to? They might end up reaching out to some other so-called black community group that has no relation to the grassroots organisation. So this is why us in the grassroots, who call us as the conscious community, we need to get used to a lot of this mainstream media and materials and learn how to network it. So when this stuff is happening, they're talking directly to us and not to the university educated blacks. Even though I am a university educated black, there's certain groups of university black guys who know how to get all the grants, who know how to work with the government and so on, and then they end up representing our community on the mainstream, and they don't have no relation to us on the ground.
And then that's why, that's what I'm saying to you, the reasons why, even if a couple of weeks back, we had one of the queens of Congo coming over, and she emphasised that she wanted to come and meet the community.
This is what I'm saying, fam. So, and this is why this is important, because like I said, it's not about a man agreeing or calling himself a Pan-Africanist necessarily. If you do that, beautiful. But outside of that, because there are many movements here that have happened in our history, you know, that I might not necessarily take on the ideology of the movement, but it's I see it as important to understand it, to understand it, because to know the legacy that I'm inheriting from my people, them. So I'm a Garveyite, but so I don't. So historically, there's been, as was said earlier, there's been debate, and division certain times between the Garveyites and people that follow W.E.B. Du Bois, Not because I don't deal with Du Bois, do I not try to understand Du Bois or read Du Bois.
He's a very intelligent man, but
if when I read him, I might still ban him after I read him. You know?
Of course.
But it's important to understand. Yes, what I'm saying. It's important to understand. Right. I'm not a socialist. I don't deal with socialism. Like and Marx and them kind of things there. But a lot of the people in our movement dealt with Marx and socialism. So I don't. At least read him. Oh, they read him. At least. So it's not for me necessarily to take on the Marxist thing, but to understand what my people them were dealing with when they were in this format, and that's all it is. But the point is that there's a lot of misinformation out there about the ideology of Pan-Africanism. And we like a couple weeks ago, I wasn't debating Pan-Africanism, but it came up in the debate. But it's about sharing our understanding.
So you find that
before I go quick, I just want to say, and more topics exclusively on Pan-Africanism. Check out Sky Minds. I record exclusively about Pan-Africanism.
Yeah, and check out Black Eyes TV7 as well.
I'm Black Eyes.
Don't forget Doctor as well. And don't forget Rambo.
And content over everything. Don't forget content over everything.
Yeah, content over everything.
Don't forget, gang of that. First of all, I'd like to say thank you, Captain Scarlett.
Nah, I respect this brother, you know. And you too, man.
I love these people.
Mr. Riggs.
Mr. Riggs, I love you. But this is what I would like to say. I would like to thank all of our black brothers and sisters, Africans, across the diaspora, around the world, fighting for our liberation. I'm a representative of the new Black Panther Party. I will always continue the struggles and the fight for our people, especially in the UK. So I would like to just say, Black Power, red, black and green,
Every time.
Every
time.
Black
man's moving as well. I got a youth to get on to, you get me, so, you know what I mean? Love. Yeah, but big up, Yes, I'll see you again. Bro, thanks for reaching out as well, still.
Content over everything. From your belly.
Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
By concrete example.
Why isn't the example I brought you?
One wife, 2 daughters, 1 boy. How do you calculate this?
Why isn't the example I brought you concrete? Why isn't the example I brought you concrete?
Can you answer the question?
I don't want to, because it's not relevant. Because it's not relevant, because I've shown that it's pathological. I'm bringing you a pathological example which doesn't work, and you want to talk about a different one.
The only time